The following is a feature presentation of SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network.
This very long and very difficult season is almost over for these two teams, who trend in very opposite directions coming into this final game. For the Washington Commanders, it's been a bit of a bumpy mess of a ride. For the Dallas Cowboys, this game means everything because it might determine if they even get into the playoffs in the first place. Welcome, everybody, to the second of our 3 games of the week here on SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network. Hello, everybody. I am your host and broadcaster, Joe, and wow, we're almost to the playoffs. This is an exciting time, especially if you're a fan of a team that has already clinched their playoff berth and is just looking to see who they'll be playing against. But if you're somebody who has a team that's on the fringe and needs at the very least to win their game this week, well, you might be in a little bit rougher of a spot because you don't know if they're in or not. The Dallas Cowboys are one such team. Right now, on the verge of getting in. They're technically in via tiebreaker with other teams, but they still aren't officially in yet. They can clinch the NFC East this week if they win and the Philadelphia Eagles lose. If they win, they pretty much are done with the season. They don't need to worry about anything else this season because it would mean that they either get the wild card spot, especially depending on how the other teams do that are right behind them, or it means that they win the NFC East, depending on what happens with the game between the Eagles and Giants later on this week. That is the scenario coming into this game today. Meanwhile, the Washington Commanders, it's been a very rough season with their rookie quarterback, Jayden Daniels. They're just trying to get through, see what they can do with him for next year, and hopefully next year will be a lot better. They're looking forward to 2025 and what that will mean, especially with what they could be drafting because they have been having just a terrible year this year. They are currently in last overall in the entire NFC. In fact, the draft order has them at picking number 1 overall. What will they do with that? Will they shore up the offensive line, maybe get some defensive players, or will they do what the Bears did a few years ago and trade it away for some picks to be named later that could be useful for them in building a future? And we'll see what they do with it. Taking a look at the playoff standings as they stand right now. The Dallas Cowboys, number 6 seed. All they need is a win. And if they do win, hope that Philly loses so they can get the NFC East and then get a home playoff game. Meanwhile, if they don't win this, they need some help. And we're going to see how that will play out as the rest of the week plays out. And an update on the injury report, Byron Pringle is returning from injury for the Commanders to play in this final game of the season. We've got a big game today between two big rivals, and we'll see who comes out on top in this one. We're going to take a small break here, and when we come back, we're going to bring you down to AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas for this NFC East grudge match. And here we are at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Commanders will call heads, and it is heads. And they will elect to return the ball. So that's Brandon Aubrey who will kick it off. Byron Pringle will return it for Washington. Final game of the season for these two. How's it going to go? Pringle going to take it from the 3 and gets up to the 17, it looks like. Let's take a look at the starting offense for the Commanders. Rookie Jayden Daniels out of LSU. He's been a bit wishy-washy this season, and Commanders are hoping that maybe it's just nerves and that he'll improve going into year 2. Jeremy McNichols and Austin Eckler are the starting running backs for Washington, lining up behind Daniels. At the wide receiver positions, you have Terry McLaurin and Olamide Zacchaeus. Zach Ertz, the tight end for Washington. He's lining up on the offensive line alongside Tyler Biadasz, Nick Allegretti, Sam Cosmi, rookie Brandon Coleman out of TCU, and Andrew Wiley. Dan Quinn in his first year as head coach of the Commanders, and the offensive coordinator is Cliff Kingsbury. 1st and 10 for Washington. Daniels in shotgun formation. Going to take this along the left side. Still running with it and down at about the 24. Let's take a look at the starting defense for the Dallas Cowboys. DeMarcus Lawrence, Mazi Smith, and Osa Odigizua are the defensive linemen. Micah Parsons, Jordan Lewis, Damone Clark, and Eric Kendricks are your linebackers. Rookie Kalen Carson out of Wake Forest is lining up on one side as a corner, and on the other side is Trayvon Diggs. And at the safety positions, you have Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson. Mike Zimmer in his first year as defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, and the special teams coordinator is John Fassel. 2nd and 4 for Washington. Toss for Eckler, and he's going to run it along the near side. Keeps on going and down about the 32. Dan Quinn actually coached this Cowboys defense last year before he got signed to head coach for the Commanders to replace Ron Rivera, as that's a run to the 43. So 1st and 10 for Washington yet again. Daniels tosses for Eckler, and Eckler going to get taken out behind the line for the loss of 6. So 2nd and long. Daniels tosses for McNichols. McNichols going to run along the far side and gets about 7 on there. 3rd and 9. Shotgun formation for Washington. Daniels going to try and run forward here, and he is going to take it himself. Look at this man run. This is what Washington was so impressed about when they saw him at LSU. Ability to move when the play starts to break down. So 1st and 10, Daniels going to break a tackle, and then he's going to get wrapped up and taken down by Jordan Lewis for the loss of 2. So 2nd and 12. Daniels tosses for Eckler. Eckler going to run it up the gut, and zigging and zagging only gets about 4 on that one. 3rd and 8. Man in motion. Play action by Daniels. Gonna look and throw it over the middle for McNichols, who dives for it, and he's got the first down easily. 1st and goal on what looks to be the 2. Daniels going to hand this off to McNichols, and he's in for the touchdown. So the Commanders strike first as they hope to play spoiler against the Cowboys to ruin their season. Kick on the way here by Cade York is through. Nearly blocked, but it is through. So Commanders take a 7-0 lead. Kavontae Turpin will be back to return this one. He's going to take it from about 2 yards deep in the end zone. They get up to the 10 and down about the 17. Let's take a look at that Dallas Cowboys starting offense, shall we? Dak Prescott, 9th year out of Mississippi State. He is hoping to will the Cowboys into the playoffs and potentially be the first repeat champions of the NFC East since the 2003 and 2004 seasons. Ezekiel Elliott lining up behind him at running back. He had a year off from Dallas. He went and played with the Patriots. Jalen Tolbert, CeeDee Lamb, and Brandon Cooks are the wide receivers. Jake Ferguson, the tight end. He's lining up alongside an offensive line that's got 2 rookies in the form of center Cooper Beebe out of Kansas State and left tackle Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma. And alongside them, they have Tyler Smith, Zach Martin, and Terrence Steele. Mike McCarthy in his 5th year as head coach of the Cowboys, and the offensive coordinator is Brian Schottenheimer. 1st and 10 for Dallas on their own 17. Play action by Prescott, looking for an open man. Gonna throw it to his right for CeeDee Lamb, who leaps up to grab this one, and he is gone. There is no hope to catch him, Washington. He's got the touchdown. And how about that? Immediately after they get scored against, the Dallas offense comes through. But this is still going to be a very, very long game, full of surprises from both teams, as this game is now tied. Pringle will be back to return this for Washington. He's going to take it from about the 6-yard line, and going to get it up to the 20. So 1st and 10, Washington. Man in motion for Jayden Daniels, looking for an open man, throwing to his right for Olamide Zaccheaus, and he's got this one. Avoids the tackle, and gets down at about the 43 of the Cowboys. 1st and 10 for Washington there. Daniels looking for an open man. Gonna run forward with it. Takes it to about the same yardage, and oh, that is not good. Jayden Daniels goes down. So that means they're going to rely on backup quarterback Marcus Mariota, coming in out of Oregon. 2nd and 10 for Washington. Mariota, play action. Looking for an open Austin Eckler. And he's got the 1st down, I think. Yes, he does! 1st down for the Commanders. They're now going to have to try and play without Jayden Daniels. Mariota, play action. Looking for an open Terry McLaurin, who dives for it but can't quite get it. Missed it by that much. 2nd and 10 for Washington. Mariota gonna try and get this off. It's deflected, but he is not sacked with it. So 3rd and 10 for the Commanders. Mariota looking for somebody open. Gonna try and throw to his right for Zaccheaus, and he's gonna get the 1st down easily and keeps on going down at about the 6. 1st and goal for the Commanders to start there for this set of downs. Play action by Mariota. Gonna throw this one to his right, but it's intercepted by Dallas. Trayvon Diggs with the pick off there. And how about that Dallas team on defense? Stops a potential score. A throw for Cooks, and he's got this one easily. Gonna keep on going until he's down at about the 40-yard line. Gets good field position for Dallas with less than a minute to go in the 1st quarter. Prescott hands it off to Elliott, who doesn't get too far, only gains about 3. Let's take a look at the Commanders' starting defense. Cullen Farrell, Daron Payne, and Jonathan Allen are the defensive linemen. Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner, and Dorrance Armstrong, the linebackers, alongside rookie Mike Sainristil out of Michigan. Emmanuel Forbes and Benjamin St. Just are the corners. And at the safety positions, you've got Quan Martin and Jeremy Chin. Joe Witt Jr., the defensive coordinator for the Commanders, and the special teams coordinator is Larry Izzo. All the Commanders' major coaching staff, 1st year with Washington. 2nd and 7 for Dallas. Elliott going to take this one and run it up along the far side, coming back towards the middle, and he's going to get taken down at the 29 of Washington. So 1st and 10 for Dallas there. Man in motion, Prescott in shotgun formation. Gonna try and run forward with it, but Daron Payne brings the pain with that sack, sending him back 7 yards. So another sack here. This time it's Bobby Wagner, the former Seattle Seahawk. And so now it's 3rd and 25 for Dallas. Prescott, gotta look for somebody. Throwing it over the middle for Elliott, but can't quite connect with him. And that's how we're gonna end the 1st quarter. 2nd quarter, we'll start with a punt by Brian Anger. And Jamison Crowder will be back to return this. But he's not actually going to return it. That's too deep of a punt. Goes through the uprights for the back of the end zone. But that counted as a punt, so no score. Jeremy McNichols going to take this along the far side. 2nd and 3, following the 7-yard run by McNichols. Mariota, play action. looking for an open man somewhere. Throwing to his left, incomplete. Dan Quinn, before he was coaching the Cowboys defense, was actually the head coach of the Falcons. This is his second head coaching tenure as McNichols, as that's a tackle back behind the line of scrimmage. Tress Way, the punter for Washington, has been a very good punter since he's been here. Devontae Turpin takes this from about the 24, breaking a tackle, still going, and down at around the 40. Like I said, Quinn was the head coach for Atlanta before he got the defensive coordinator job here for Dallas, following a very up and down campaign for the Falcons. Prescott with the play action, looking for somebody open, throwing to his right for CeeDee Lamb, who's always wide open, and that's a touchdown for the Cowboys. And with that, took a while, but Dallas takes their first lead of the game, following the connection between Prescott and Lamb. Kick on the way is good, so it's 14-7. So Pringle will be back to return this. He'll take it from about 2 yards deep in his own end zone, it looks like. Gets up to the 10, now to the 20. 25 still going, 30. Look at this man run, 35 and down to 36. First and 10 for Washington starts there. Mariota dropping back, looking for someone open. Gonna throw it in, it's intercepted on the screen pass by Wilson. Nice work there by Donovan Wilson. Handoff for Elliott, and he gets to about the 22, it looks like. 22 or 23. Dak going to hand this off. No, play action. I was fooled. Throws it over the middle for Elliott, and he's got the touchdown for the Cowboys. And right away, Dallas, just after they took the lead, extends it even further. Extra point by Aubrey on the way. It's up, and it's good. 21-7 for Dallas. And Byron Pringle will be back to return. He'll take it from about 2.5, maybe 3 yards deep in his own end zone. And he's going to get wrapped up at the 9 before he's taken down. So first and 10 for Washington starts there. Mariota, play action. Got to get this off in time. Throws it over the middle. Eckler can't dive for it, but it's an incomplete rather than an interception. There were a couple of Cowboys players that dove for it on defense. Mariota gonna throw this to his left for Terry McLaurin. Dives for it, getting back up, and taken down at the 49 of Washington. Great connection there with Terry McLaurin. Scary Terry, his nickname, that he's had since he came out of college. As Eckler going to run this one along the near side. He was zigging and zagging around the middle. Only gains about 5, but he's in Dallas territory at least. Second and 5. Mariota running out of time. Throwing this to his right for Zach Ertz. And Ertz gonna get a first down easily. The former Eagle gets the pass from another former Eagle, as Mariota spent some time with Philadelphia last offseason as the back for Jalen Hurts. As Zach Ertz going to get an incomplete pass here. So second and 10 on the 23. McNichols gonna run along the far side, still going, and he's gonna be down just shy of first down. Third and 1 for Washington. Mariota running along the far side and gonna get wrapped up, taking a yard back, but it was a designed run, so it's not a sack. They're going for it on fourth down. Mariota takes it again, and he's got the first down. Mariota was drafted by the Tennessee Titans coming out of college back during the 2015 season. Mariota got to look and throw for Zacchaeus, who dives for the touchdown. And with that, Washington pulls within 7. Nice little catch there for Olamide Zacchaeus, the former Virginia Cavalier, who's actually familiar with the way that Dan Quinn has run on offenses, because he used to play for him when he was playing for Atlanta. Turpin going to take this about a half a yard deep out of his own end zone, and keeps on going. Gets up to the 20, 25, 30. No, not the 30, but down at the 29, actually. Looked like he was going to be at the 30. So first and 10 for Dak. Dropping back and throwing to his right for CeeDee Lamb. Dives for it into Washington territory for the first down. And Dallas going to call their first timeout with 41 seconds to go in this second quarter. Prescott in shotgun formation. Going to throw this to his right for Lamb yet again. And CeeDee Lamb, I don't think he's going to score, but he's going to get some good field position to about the 11. They're going to call their second timeout. And then they're going to go with the field goal attempt by Brandon Aubrey, who's been a great kicker for Dallas. This will be about a 30-yarder. Kick on the way, and it's good. So Dallas takes a 10-point lead. And even better for them, they're going to get the ball to start the second half. Pringle going to be back to return this from about the 5. And still going down about the 19. And that's going to do it for the first half of play here in Texas. Cowboys have a 10-point lead over Washington. A reminder to you all that tomorrow will be our final episode of Tecmo Rewind for the 2024 season. And you'll want to tune in tomorrow because we will also be revealing at the end the third of our Week 18 Games of the Week, which will be the final one for us before we go into the playoffs. And then we will have that final game of the week on the very next day. Again, Tecmo Rewind tomorrow, and then the very next week, our third and final game of the week for Week 18 here on SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network. So Turpin will be back to return this, and he'll be back at about the 5-yard line. And still going, and he's going to fumble the ball! It's going to bounce around before it's picked up by Tyler Smith for the Dallas Cowboys, as he's going to take it to about the 30. That could have been a disaster if Washington had recovered it for Dallas, though it is good. It's all good for Dallas if they can win this game. So first and 10 following the Elliott run. At about the 47, Elliott going to take it along the far side, breaking a tackle, not going to break a second as he gets a 9-yard run at about the 44. Prescott going to get this one off for Elliott on a screen pass. Looked like Clelin Ferrell was getting into Dak's face there, but he got it off in time. First and 10 for Dallas. Shotgun formation for Prescott. Throw to his right for Ferguson, and he's got this one. And he's down at about the 19-yard line. First and 10, Dallas. Prescott dropping back. Gonna throw a screen for Elliott. Elliott running along the far sideline, and Elliott gonna get the touchdown here. And with that, the Cowboys extend their lead even further. Gonna try and extend it to a 17-point lead. Aubrey's kick on the way. It's good. 31-14. Pringle going to take this one from about the 4-yard line. And that is going to be down about the 20. First and 10 for Washington. McNichols going to get tossed the ball. And he's going to break the tackle. Still going. Look at this man run. And he's going to get taken down around the 43, it looks like. First and 10 for Washington. Toss for Eckler. Eckler running along the near side. Going to get taken down around the 49-yard line. Second and 5 for Washington. Mariota going to get the ball himself. And gets to about the line of scrimmage. Third and 5. Mariota tosses for McNichols. McNichols running along the far side. He's got the first down in Dallas territory. A little over 4 minutes to go, 4:01 in the third quarter. Mariota in shotgun formation. Looking for somebody open. Gonna throw to his left for Terry McLaurin, who's got the first down easily at about the 34. First and 10, Washington. Mariota looking for somebody open. Gotta find someone. Throwing to his right for Olamide Zaccheaus in the end zone. Dives for the touchdown here. And the Commanders gonna try and pull within 10 yet again. Cade York to kick the extra point. On the way, it's up and it's good. Cade York, the former Brown, Meanwhile, the Browns kicker currently is actually Dustin Hopkins, the former Washington Commander. As York going to take this up to about the 16, and he's going to fumble the ball, and it's picked up by Daron Payne! So now Washington in amazing field position. Gonna try and get a little bit closer to tying this game up or taking the lead, as Eckler only gonna get about 6 there. Still, there's the surprise, as Mariota gonna look and throw for somebody, throwing over the middle for McNichols, but incomplete. 3rd and 4, Washington. Mariota dropping back, gonna throw this one over the middle for Zach Ertz, but he can't quite hold on to it. Incomplete. So they're gonna go with the field goal. And this will be about a 24-yarder. Kick on the way. It's through on the chip shot. 31-24 is the score here. Cavante Turpin back to return this, hoping that third time will not be another fumble. As Turpin going to take this to about the 22. So the Dallas offense comes out onto the field ahead by 7. Prescott in shotgun formation. Going to throw a screen pass for Elliott, but he can't quite corral it. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 for Dallas. Elliott going to take this and run it along the far sideline. That's going to get him only about 4 yards. 3rd and 6 for Dallas. Prescott, play action. Going to throw it to his right for Lamb, but it's intercepted! Emmanuel Forbes Jr. there to take it back for Washington, and now they can tie it up with a touchdown on the Dallas 45. Mariota throwing to his right for Zacchaeus, incomplete. Was a little bit of coverage there. Washington saying if you want a playoff berth, you're going to have to earn it. Mariota running out of time. Gonna throw this on a screen pass to McNichols, and McNichols gonna break a tackle, taken down about the 38. Got time for one more play in the 3rd quarter. Mariota dropping back, offensive line giving him protection. Throwing for Zacchaeus, incomplete. Couldn't quite connect with him. Dallas has a 7-point lead, and Washington gonna go with the field goal. This field goal from York would be a 56-yarder actually. And it's on the way, and it doinks off the right upright. No good for Washington. And Dallas just needs to take it a little bit cool. A throw for Cooks. He's deep, and he's got this one down at about the 16-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Dallas there. Prescott going to play action. Looking and throwing for Brandon Cooks over to his left, but incomplete. Overthrew him. Looks like Cooks wasn't ready for it. 2nd and 10 for Dallas. Play action by Prescott. Gonna throw it over the middle for Elliott, but he can't get a hold of it. Incomplete. There were some burgundy helmets and jerseys in the area. So 3rd and 10. Throw to the left for Tolbert. He can't quite get it. So they're gonna bring out Brandon Aubrey for the field goal here. A 34-yard attempt. Kick on the way. It's up, and it is good. 34-24, Dallas with a 10-point lead, hoping that they can take this lead into a playoff berth. As Pringle going to take this from about 2 yards deep in his own end zone. Pringle going to get up to the 10, 15, 20, or actually the 19. 1st and 10 for Washington starts there. Mariota running along the far side, and he's going to get taken down around the... Oh, no, he's still going! He broke through! I thought he was going down! Now he's down, but not before he gets to the 47 of the Commanders, who now have a 1st and 10, and might have some life in them. Mariota throwing over the middle for Ertz, and gonna avoid some potential tacklers as he's down at about the 19. Now, the debate when you have a team that's already way out of playoff position is, do you tank your last few games of the season? Especially against a division rival. I think that's why the NFL started making every final game of a season be a division rivalry game. As he's only going to get about 3 there. 3rd and 8. Mariota tosses for McNichols. And McNichols going to get a first down easily. And, I mean, this game is a good example of that. Washington already way out of the playoff race, but they could try and ruin Dallas this season as a toss for Eckler, what's essentially a bubble screen, and he's in for the touchdown. You have not seen a Washington team quite like this season since about week 4, I believe, when they were leading the division at a 2-1 record. As this extra point is nearly deflected, but it goes through. So Dallas only has a 3-point lead. York gonna kick it deep. Turpin back to return. He's fumbled twice so far with kickoff returns this half. And he's going to try to break tackles, but gets taken out at the 16. 3:51 to go in the game. Prescott going to hand it off to Elliott, but he gets taken down back 2 yards. So Dallas is going to try and play it a little more conservatively. Elliott going to run this one to about the 22. The gain of 7 on that one. 3rd and 5. Play action. Prescott going to throw it for Cooks, and Cooks easily taking this one into Washington territory down at about the 45. So this is a good example of what the NFL is looking for. One team's already out. One team is trying to get in and officially clinch their playoff berth as Brandon Cooks going to take them into the playoffs with this touchdown, assuming Washington is not fast enough to score the points they need. But you got to give credit to this Washington Commanders team. They put their heart into this one. As this kick goes through, 10-point lead for Dallas. Pringle will be back to return. If Washington wants to score this game, to win this game, they need to score and score fast. As Pringle only going to get to about the 9. 1st and 10 for Washington. Mariota dropping back, looking for an open Olamide Zaccheaus, who dives for it, and down at about the 29. Washington going to call their first timeout with 1:52 to go. And man in motion for the Commanders. As Mariota going to get taken down by Osa Odigizua for the sack. Sending him back 8 yards as Washington going to call their second timeout. 2nd and 18. A couple teams really didn't want to see this happening, Dallas winning, but a throw from McLaurin. He's deep into Dallas territory now, down at about the 31. If the Commanders can get things to go their way, they might just make things a little bit easier on certain teams in the NFC. A throw from McLaurin over them to his left. McLaurin in for the touchdown! So now the Commanders have a choice to make. Do you go for the onside kick, or do you hope you can force the fumble by Cavante Turpin? He's already fumbled twice. Kick is through. 41-38 is the score, though. They're going to go for the onside kick. York onside kicks it to about the 48, and it's going to be recovered by Jalen Tolbert. So the only thing they can hope to do is force a Dallas turnover. But I don't think that's going to happen. Elliott running along the far sideline. Look at this man run. He is down at about the 31-yard line with less than a half a minute to go. Shotgun formation for Prescott. Dropping back, but he's going to get sacked by Clelin Ferrell. But Washington out of timeouts, so they can't stop anything. 2nd and 20. Prescott looking and throwing for Ferguson. He leaps up to grab this one. We got time for one more play just to see what Dallas can do. But you know they're going to be celebrating in Texas tonight as Prescott throwing for Cooks. Yeah, let's just end this game with a touchdown. The Dallas Cowboys gonna be moonwalking their way into the playoffs with a victory here today. Kick on the way is good. And that is how we're gonna end this one. The Dallas Cowboys winning it 48-38. Again, you gotta give credit to Washington for their tremendous effort that they had. But with Dallas's victory, now it makes it a little bit harder on certain teams to get in to the playoffs. We'll see how things go for the rest of the week. And so taking a look at the playoff standings as they look right now for the NFC, with this victory, the Cowboys temporarily have the lead in the NFC East. The Eagles need a win if they want to get that. Of course, Detroit and Atlanta still have a chance. Atlanta in that big fight in the NFC South with the Saints and the Lions. They're going to need things to go their way and hope, beyond all hope, they can get some kind of tiebreaker. But regardless, it looks pretty good for Dallas from here on out. We'll see how things go with the rest of the games happening this week. And that's going to do it for us here today. A reminder that we will be having season finale of Tecmo Rewind tomorrow, though we will be having more broadcasts of the playoff games when we get to the postseason. And a reminder to come back on Monday for our mystery game of the week number 3. We don't know what we're not going to tell you what it is, but you're free to take a guess. We'll reveal it tomorrow. For all of us here at SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network, I'm your host, Joe, saying good night, everybody!